Hello, people of yesteryear. Hello. Um, so I came here to say, we're doing a story time now. Um, so this story happened about 2 days ago, actually. Um, I had a mental breakdown not last night, no, yeah, it was one day ago. Last night I had a mental breakdown. The reason being, because my computer was screwing up on me. See, I had a problem with my camera, which is what I do to make videos. The camera stopped working correctly and it was going one freaking frame per second. As I was trying to record a second episode of Foxy's Adventures for the 9th season, which even I lost track of. I had to write down a list of episodes that I didn't title correctly, and so I lost track. But I was trying to record another episode, and my camera stopped working. It was going one frame per second no matter what was going on. If I breathed, it would go one frame per second. If I blinked, it would go one frame per second. And that made me mad. Twice in a row I tried and it kept on not working. And it was making me furious. And, well, you guys might not know this about me, but I have a weird thing where I can't stick to one problem. Like, if I'm having a problem, the floodgates open for all the other bad things that I deal with, and they just kind of take front row seat and make me have a complete mental breakdown. If you were to see me have a real mental breakdown, which I do have a video recorded of me of my phone where I'm just crying, talking about what's been going on, I might upload that. But basically, what happened is that was making me really angry, and if you were to see me have a mental breakdown, you would be scared for both you and me, because okay, in my videos I don't do this, but I say words, and I was mad. I was crying my eyes out to the point where after I stopped the mental breakdown, that my eyes were burning. Like everything from up here to down here stung. 'Cause it's like my tears were like acid, it was just burning my face. I got over it, obviously. Well, for right now, but I got over it, but I tried to upload a video on the camera that sucked, booty hole. I was recording a video of me ranting, which I can't upload because it's not even on my computer anymore. And I wasn't doing it for YouTube either, I was just doing it so that I could talk. And I got a little bit emotional, obviously. Also, as I was having the mental breakdown, I threw crap in my room, mostly just my toys and stuff, smacking them, just getting all mad, riled up. I broke a box. I actually have the computer sitting on said broken box. It's not really broken, it's more just like the tape that's connecting the two lines of the box, one half of it slipped inwards because I was beating it. I was hitting it with this side. I was just bashing it in because and then everything else started rushing to me, which was making it worse. I was screaming at the top of my lungs and just crying. And the problem with me is I got too much to worry about in one time, and me getting over it, I don't really get over it. Okay? Because usually most of the things that I think about are because of current circumstances that make everything suck worse for me. I fear death. Well, I don't really fear death itself, because I know that's a natural occurrence, or sometimes unnatural, but I know it happens a lot. It's as unstoppable as the earth itself. It's just a part of nature. Everything except for cockroaches, everything just dies at some point. It's scary, yeah, and kind of sad, but just think to yourself, that's how everything is, that's the natural way the world works. Making the world go round. And I don't really fear death itself, because, well, to be honest, if you have a fear of death, you don't fear death itself. It's more scared of how it feels, what it looks like, and what comes after it. That's what I'm scared of. The ironic part about that is because I have beliefs in the afterlife, but due to evidence and just me not knowing, it scares me. It's like I'm having an existential crisis, but at the same time I'm not, you know? And another fear of mine, due to current circumstances, I fear being alone. Now you might be asking yourself, wait a minute, this doesn't make that much sense. What is he talking about? It's not really that I fear being alone, because if that does happen, I'm fine with it just as long as I don't die alone, Because eventually people are gonna move out. I might move out. I might not be able to see old people that I used to know. And due to current circumstances with people in general, I don't have hopes of ever really finding anybody, there are multiple reasons why, actually. Number one, the only people who have some semblance of caring aren't interested. Which is fine, because that's their life. I have no saying in their life, And secondly, well, just look at me. look. See these bags under my eyes? You see these bags under my eyes? See how nasty my teeth are? My teeth are nasty, dude. I am nasty. Okay, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm nasty, alright? Also, it's because I'm unaware of my own strength. I've never gotten into a fight. But if it does happen, first of all, it's gonna be a fair fight. I am not gonna throw the first punch. Possibly a push, but never a punch or a kick. But the very moment somebody puts their hands on me first, I'm going all in. No matter how badly I get beat, no matter if my arm breaks, my eyeball's falling out, and I'm bleeding from the mouth, you're getting it. Third, as you could probably tell from the way I talk, and also from everything I've done on social media and everywhere in general, I am weird. I'm a weird person. I'm a strange guy. In some occasions, I'm a creep. I'm creepy, I'm weird, I'm strange. Doctor Strange! Sometimes I say things that make people uncomfortable when honestly, to me, I don't really understand it. I think it's just a joke. You know? But when it gets serious, that's when it gets serious! And also, this is the main factor of why I don't think it'll ever happen. Most of the people I've met so far are just they're just so cruel and uncaring to everybody. They're so privileged that they don't care about other people. They think they're just gross and icky and just stinky. Which, as I've said before, I am not, by any means, I am not a normal dude. I'm normal in my own right, but not to other people. Because here's the thing I do. I like to stay mysterious, but also let my voice out. I like to be funny. I'm a clown. You want to know why my character, Foxio, why he's got the clown makeup on? Because he's funny. I is funny. I make people laugh, and sometimes I make people uncomfortable with how weird my jokes are. But at the same time, I try to stay out of people's way. Usually, I'm very awkward and I'm silent most of the time, but also I'm loud. That may sound weird to you. You're like, what the frick do you mean by that? When I'm concentrated, I'm concentrated. I keep silent. If I don't want to talk, I don't talk. If I want to talk, I talk. Which sometimes that gets me in trouble, obviously. Sometimes it's annoying. You get it? It's 'cause sometimes I'm silent and sometimes I ain't. Sometimes I try to hide from people if they spot me. Especially if it's the people that I hate, because people make me angry sometimes, and they do it on purpose. And if they aren't, there's no evidence to prove that they're not. Well, like I said before, I is so strange. Usually, I have a skill thingy. It's not really a skill. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Where another reason why sometimes I stay quiet and then talk is because I want people to ask questions about me to me, so that that I answer them to them, and then we get along at some point. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Okay. But like I said before, a lot of the people that I deal with, they're just they're that kind, you know? Sometimes I feel like they want to be friends with me, but they don't treat me like it. Sometimes we can get along, sometimes we don't, but it's mostly we don't. They say and do things that are just jerky, you know? I remember one time a girl said, like, behind her breath, you know? Talking to her friends, gossiping. Basically. She said, you know, it'd be really entertaining, is to see him, breaking up with somebody, you know? Getting dumped, you know? That would be funny. First of all, I have no thoughts of ever having that happen. Second, yeah, you ain't getting entertained. You might not even know where I live, so shut up. But she said that. What's ironic was she was saying that in the middle of the grass field with her shoes off. Why? That's just so weird to me. And I'm the weirdo here. Like, you're in the middle of a field, a wet, gross field of dirt and freaking dead birds. People walking around, punching each other in the neck, staring at you while everybody's circling around. And you're sitting there on the wet grass in a hot day with your shoes off in front of everybody to see. What? I don't know what it is. The worst people are the ones who can't keep their shoes on. I'm not even joking. I saw another person who they were just like slipping their foot off their shoes a little bit like this. No matter what they were doing, their shoes they would just go like this all the time with their freaking feet. They would go like this with their freaking feet. I mean, like, really, it's so ridiculous to me. Things shoe related. What's with the shoes, man? Literally, I see so many people who just take off their shoes somewhere in public and they're just like, okay, yep, yep, hold on, let me grab my shoe. Oh, that's stinky. It's like, what? It gets to the point where it's just weirder than I am, alright? And I'm a weirdo. But, anyways, there are two kinds of those people that I gotta deal with. It's the ones that think that they got so much that they just don't care about anything. And it's not the kind of not caring that I got, where I ignore people who are being stupid. It's the kind of not care as in, oh, you got shot in the leg. Well, you just walk it off. I don't care. It's that kind of don't care. It's the kind of care that's mean and cruel. But, you know. And then there's the ones that are just the show-offs, and just, oh my god. Okay, so here's another pet peeve of mine. For the OGs who used to watch this channel when it first started, my original YouTube channel name was Chimpy Widner. Okay? And I was fine with the nickname for 2 seconds before it started getting really, 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 really old. It's like a joke that just becomes mean and just wearing out a lot to the point where it becomes annoying. That channel name curses me to this day. Because ever since the first guy I met called me Chimpy Widner, that's apparently just my name now. Because sometimes people don't even know who I am. They just know me based on my character. It's so annoying. Now, there are exceptions of people who can say it to me. Friends and family, but that's only if they're doing it just as a nickname to make me, to be funny and cute. Or just to say it, you know? But the people I deal with, they do it just to get on my nerves. Okay? They do it to make me mad, and they know it makes me mad. They want me to get mad so they can laugh! Because I'm their funny clown, eh? Sometimes, if I go up to them to tell them to stop, they say, hey, you wanna fight? You you wanna fight, man? You wanna fight? If it comes to that, there is a reason for it. So don't say I didn't warn you if you get boxed. If we both get boxed in the face. But, I mean, like, really, it gets so stupid. And what's funny is the people I deal with who do that, they try to carry the blame to their friends. More like freaking followers, gang members, whatever. I don't care. That's not me. But what they do is whenever I get mad at them, they're like, this wasn't me, it was him, no, it was him, oh, this was my first time, I never done this before. I don't care who did it, whoever is, and has been doing it, shut up. I mean, like, really, no, it's not funny. It used to be funny, it used to be happy, but now it's just sour and icky and angry. There are some people that aren't real. Well, they are my friends. They're more like frenemies. It's like, I get along with them, but I don't. I have a lot of those. But sometimes frenemies say it. And they don't use it to be annoying, as far as I know. And if they are, well, I get along with them, alright? But the people that I don't get along with, they do it just to get on my goddamn nerves. It gets to the point where I want to punch them, okay? I don't do it, obviously, but it gets to the point where I want to do that. Well, if I could kind of give an example of how they sound, there are two ways they do it. They go chimpy or chimpy. You want to hear that 24/7 for like 15 months? You think that's funny? Yeah, if you were in the same situation, would you like it? After a dead joke is just repeatedly screamed at you and made fun of, you're being made fun of by other people who don't know what the heck they're talking about. Would you like it? I don't. Obviously, I still have a problem with it. People are still doing it, even though it's a dead joke, and I had to change my channel name 3 times to get it to stop, and it hasn't already. It's so dumb. It's just like, use my name. It's at this point, I don't even think people know who I am anymore. It's more like, it's that character. It's that character from that show, you know? Oh, it's so freaking stupid, man. Like really, it's not necessary. One guy told me it was necessary. It wasn't. He had no good reasoning. But he just did it. Literally, I had to stop him in his tracks and tell him, why you gotta do that? It's not necessary. And he's like, oh yeah, it is necessary. I gotta do it every day. It's like a daily routine. I'm just like, okay, yeah, okay. Just stop, alright? He's like, no. I chase people down. I don't box them or anything. I just chase them to get them to stop. I scream at them, and they don't do it. They think it's funny. It ain't funny. It's serious. Oh, man. Yeah, but anyways, it happens all the time. And it gets annoying. I've told you that already. But, oh my lord! It does not have to happen every single day of your entire life. You're basically just wasting your life away doing it. It's not necessary. It's not funny. It ain't impressive. It doesn't make me laugh. And I'm the one who came up with the name. And, I mean, like, really, you're just wasting your day doing that to me instead of living your own dang life. And instead you want to ruin mine, huh? You want to make me mad? Make somebody else mad, huh? How about you just don't do it in general, huh? Well, wouldn't that be great? Well, wouldn't that be great? Yeah. But all that... okay, back to my original story that I was telling. You might have already forgotten about it, but about that mental breakdown. It was bad. as you... Well, I beat a box with this bat, so of course it's bad, but I got over it. Well, kind of, but you don't know. You don't know, man. Nobody, except for me, will understand me. Some people, like my parents or close friends, will understand certain aspects of me, but they don't know my mental state, you know? Like, I won't understand you fully. I don't know what in your brain. I don't know how your brain works. I know certain aspects of you, like, very well, to the point where I get them to a T, but you never fully understand somebody, because you're not that person, you know? And it's not really a bad thing. You can never fully, completely understand somebody. I mean, like, unless you somehow take their brain and climb in there to see what the heck's going on. That's the only way you'll really do it. I mean, yeah, you may understand, oh, your favorite food is chips, I'll get you some chips! Or, I don't know, like, oh, he's allergic to peanuts, I won't give him any peanuts, you know, stuff like that. You understand certain things about that person, but you don't understand them completely. You understand, like, about most of certain things about them, but you don't understand what they're going through in their mind, you know? And it's 'cause, you know, to me, I'm, I would describe it like, I would describe it like, like, I'm happy most of the time, but taking a back seat is everything else that's terrible eating away at me. But, sometimes a little crumb of that pain comes in through the vent of happiness and pops right in there and freaks up my mind, you know? I'm never fully happy. The only times I've ever actually had that happen is when I was just free of all problems in my mind. Which usually doesn't happen as much as it used to, because I've gained sentience and realized life sucks! Booty cheeks! But there are some good parts of life, and you don't let the bad outweigh the good, but at the same time, you can't outweigh the bad with the good, you know? There's gotta be some balance, and sometimes it's all disorganized. It makes you freak out and go insane and bash your head against the wall until there's a brown and red stain! That is how I felt when I've had multiple mental breakdowns. One of them to the point where I was just listening to a depressing song on repeat while my legs were just all messed up and I was just sitting there on the floor crying, little tears going down my face, and I was just ignoring everything and getting mad if they were bothering me, you know? And to me, first of all, I feel like I don't have much people to turn to, and when they help me out, I mess it up. I mess up a lot of things. Relationships, friendships, my own mental state, everything. I manage to accidentally screw it all up. For either me or other people. Um, as a matter of fact, that is exactly why, certain person that I had a crush on, and I'm pretty sure they did too because of what they said to me. Unironically, they said I loved you. Alright? I gave them a face. A surprised face, because I wasn't expecting to hear that ever. From somebody who wasn't my parents. Except it was too over-exaggerated to the point where it was nasty looking. It was gross! And that messed it up. Because I had to over-exaggerate my mood, it messed my only chance up. And it hasn't been that great ever since. But like I was saying, when people try to help me, like with one problem, I move on to the next and tell them about that, and then they try to do that, but then I do this and do. So I never really get help. Because I have so much problems that I just have to tell you all of them right when you're trying to help me with one. You gotta start at one, but I keep on piling on a bunch like this. You know? And that sucks. But that's how my brain works. It's just like, oh yeah, you do that. Okay, yeah, that's good. Another problem I got, okay, is how the schools treat me. Now, back then, when I was a freaking gremlin, I was not the easiest person to work with. The reason being is because I was a brat. Not the kind of brat that sips away at champagne in their ivory tower. I'm talking about the kind of brat as in, you punch things, you scream, you cry, you moan and complain about everything. That kind of brat. I was a gremlin back then. I'm not and everybody has their own problems. Nobody gets along all the time. Nobody keeps their cool all the time, and I'm certainly not that kind of person. But as a baby boy, I went berserk mode on everything. And so the schools thought, hey, send him to the special ed class. That's where he fits in. Truth be told, it didn't work. Because I wasn't learning anything. I was just doing the same crap I've been doing. And then, they decided that was a stupid idea. However, then they started implementing the... they're called AIDS. Not the you know what disease. I'm talking about people to help you out. Those kinds. Like I said, I was not the easiest person to work with. But that was back then. What really peeves me off now is I still have to deal with it after 13 years. And they still list me as a freaking special ed. Now, I don't know if I do have some sort of mental problem, but I'm pretty sure that's not the solution. Obviously, I'm not in special ed classes, but I'm in normal classes, but I gotta be monitored every freaking 5 seconds because I'm too irresponsible to do anything. Like, you know what's an example of something they did recently that really ticked me off? A couple, months ago. Actually, years ago. a year ago, they did something really, really, really petty. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's like ridiculous and stupid and kind of mean. Kind of just unnecessary in general. Because the aide and another teacher who could have helped out were called to another class that I wasn't even supposed to be in at that current moment. Okay? Because they had to be there, they had to take me out of the class I had to be in, ELA specifically, which is my 6th period, which is the end of the day. They did something really ridiculous. Because those two teachers had to go to that classroom, they took me in with them. The reasoning being is because apparently I can't be by myself in a class. Yeah, I can't learn a lesson by myself. I have to be breathed on my neck all the time because I'm too irresponsible and dirty to do anything. You know how ridiculous that is? I wasn't even learning anything. I was just sitting there. They didn't make me do anything either. It was literally just because that they had to be there. I couldn't be by myself. That's stupid. Like, at least give me a chance. 13, I can do things by myself. Not everything, but I can at least try, can't I? I might be a lazy piece of crap, but I can still try. You don't even give me a chance. You treat me like a baby. This happened to me before. Not the exact same thing, but it was for the same reason. One time, during my after-school period class in, I don't know, frickin' 2nd grade or kindergarten, I don't know. It was one of those. It was an old one. One of the older years, you know? And I remember one time my after-school program went to the beach, and they left me alone to do arts and crafts by myself in a dark room, because according to them, I was too irresponsible to be on the beach, because what if I walked into the ocean and drowned? I've been to the beach multiple times. I've been there ever since I was like, a freaking waddling baby. And I did better back then. And they still... I was like, 4 or 7? I don't know. I was young, but I wasn't a baby. They left me by myself in a dark, empty classroom doing arts and crafts that I didn't even know how to do because they thought I was too irresponsible to be on the beach. Well, news got out to my parents, and, well, I was taken out of the after-school program because that was stupid of them to do to me. Like, really, why? It's like, why do they gotta do that? It's so mean. It's degrading to be treated like that, you know? Being treated like an irresponsible baby. And even then, as a baby, I had to grasp certain things, you know? I wasn't dumb. I might be a little bit dumb in certain things, but I'm not stupid. I'm not brain dead. I'm not limping to the side, just drooling out of my mouth, looking at the stars, thinking, I wonder what sound a potato makes. What's the Spanish word for tortilla? I'm not dumb. I'm a little bit irresponsible, but not to the point where I'll just waddle into the ocean and drown. Or not be able to do my work. I don't get my work correctly most of the time, and sometimes I forget, and sometimes I run out of time to do it. Because sometimes there are distractions, which is most of the time because Nobody is not talking in the class. Okay? But I'm the one singled out. Because I have a history of being special ed. And I told them this. I'm tired of being singled out like that. But guess what? It's probably still gonna go on. And I swear to God, if in high school I have to deal with the same BS, I'm dropping out. Because I'm tired of it, okay? They know I'm tired of it. They try their best to stop it, but it doesn't seem to be working because it still happens. Like, really? What if you were in the same situation as I am? Just because you can't sit still, they send you to the special ed class, then they realize that's a dumb idea, so you gotta be breathed on the neck all the time. And if you do one thing, because you're just, it's a stereotype. You're stereotyped of being dumb and irresponsible. Just because I'm weird and I don't sit still and I'm loud does not mean that I have to be singled out like that. That crap gets on my nerves. They treat me like I'm a freaking baby. Well, now they're not like that as much as they used to be. Because now, I'm actually finally treated like I'm actually mature. But like I said, that one wasn't as recent, but it was still kind of recent. Because it took place like last year. That's just so mean. That's messed up. Is that I'm singled out all the time. Because I'm weird and I don't sit still. It's like they don't even know that I've aged sometimes. Like you would probably think after like, I don't know, like 2 years later, he's the same kid. He's the same rowdy, nasty, loud baby that he used to be. He's the same brain dead baby he used to be all those years ago. Like, come on, man. People change. Of course, I haven't changed with not sitting still, but at least I try to get my work done most of the time. Almost all the time. But that really gets on my nerves, man. But going back to the story I was talking about, like, earlier, which, once again, you probably already forgot. I deal with a lot, and so when one bad thing happens, it opens the floodgate to make me have a mental breakdown, because now all of the bad thoughts are just, like, pounding in my head, going, hey, remember this bad time, or hey, remember this bad thing, remember this bad thought, remember this, remember that. Too many intrusive thoughts make me freak out and break down. Okay? It's just, like, really. Nobody will understand me fully. My parents and my friends may understand me in very, very, very close things, but not everything. What I'm about to say is kind of how bad my mental state is most of the time. I have intrusive thoughts that make me think about death and dying alone. I'm not in any relationship, and whenever I do see one, they're always the mean people, and they're not even nice to each other. They're always complaining about everything that their spouse does. They're always making fun of each other, laughing behind each other's back. Sometimes they're like, oh, he ate the last hot Cheeto, I gotta break up with him. That's stupid! 'Cause the relationships I see are between some guy who has baggy pants. His pants are all the way down to his knees, and his freaking his underwear, his chonies are showing to everybody with his poo-stained underpants. Wearing a backwards hat. And girls who wear way too much makeup and have foot-long fingernails that they use for chopsticks to eat hot Cheetos. And get mad at you whenever you watch them. Whenever you accidentally look at them for like 1 second, they're like, "What do you want? What are you looking at? What are you staring at, creep? What?" Like, and that makes up half of the school. And what makes it worse is that they say that I'm dumb, but their grades are terrible, and they get in trouble all the time. They're always sent to the office, or they're being told by the teacher, "Stop talking while I'm talking," and they keep on talking after they've been told to stop. And they treat me like a joke. Sometimes I make fun of them for how they act towards me. Like, seriously, I know one girl who doesn't even take what she says seriously. She laughs at what she says to herself. See, those are the only relationships I ever see. Whenever I see a wholesome relationship, I'm happy for them, but I'm sad that I'm not in one, and I gotta deal with all these idiots. And I see them happy, but at the same time, they're complaining about everything they do. Like a girl complains that her boyfriend is breathing too heavy, and she stabs him in the neck and says, "Stop breathing." Meanwhile, she's eating Cheetos, watching him. If he's talking to another girl, she eats Cheetos and then smacks him in the face and says, "Stop talking to other girls. What, you're too weak to deal with me? What, like, be grateful for what you have, okay?" And another thing that I hate about those certain people that I deal with every goddamn day. Those girls with the foot-long fingernails, they do something that makes me so angry. It's another stupid thing where people just taunt me with everything. The boys taunt me with my YouTube channel, and the girls taunt me with the fact that I'm lonely. Here's what they do. They talk to me all seductively, and then when I take one step towards them, they freak out. But they do it on purpose, I can tell. Like, I'll give you an example. They walk past me and say, "Hi, Zandy." And then I take one step towards them and they go, "Oh, God, get away from me." Like, why? Seriously, I gotta deal with those two people every goddamn day. It's either people going, "Hey, you wanna fight?" Somebody yelling, "Hey, Chippy, 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 Chippy." Or a girl messing with me, and then she gets all freaking out. She gets all freaked out. She's like, "What do you want, creep? What? Like, God dang it, man. It gets on my nerves. Like, seriously. And anytime I ever feel bad for them, they don't care. I remember one time, this one girl, we got in trouble because she was arguing with me, and I was arguing with her. Because we got like a rivalry going on. Well, now it's more of a frenemy rivalry. I don't know how the heck you describe it, but, well, basically what happened was we got in trouble because we were arguing. Except we didn't really get in trouble. We were sent to the office, but it wasn't really that big a deal, apparently. And what happened is that while that was going on, the teachers kept on telling me, "Dude, you're not in trouble." I was crying for two reasons. First of all, I was scared that I got in trouble, and guess what? I felt bad for her because she got in trouble. That's a sign of me being empathetic. You want to know how empathetic I am? You want to know how bad I feel about everything? I remember one time I squashed a spider, and it turns out it wasn't venomous. And you know what I thought in my brain? My intrusive thoughts made me think, what if that spider was happy before you killed it? What if it was smiling before you mercilessly snuffed out its life? And it made me cry. I cried over a dead spider. Yeah, that's how bad I feel for everything. So, when we both we weren't even in trouble. That's the thing. We weren't in trouble, but I thought we got in trouble. I felt bad for her. Keep that in mind. I felt bad for her. 2 weeks later, the same thing happened because she keeps on running her mouth and talking about crap that I'm not even doing. Like, I felt bad for her. And then 2 weeks later, she's doing the same thing that got us in trouble in the first place. Except, we weren't even in trouble. But technically we were, but we didn't. It's complicated. I don't know how to describe it. It's so ridiculous, man. But yeah, I go through a lot, and I don't know when to stop talking and doing things. I don't know when to stop, and sometimes I do. And I don't get help because I keep on replacing other problems with more and more goddamn problems. Because when somebody's trying to help me out with one problem, I keep on going on about more and more and more and more, and they don't even have a chance to help me. And what makes me sad is that I want it to stop, but it doesn't. It never does because I am the problem here. I'm a problem that has problems. Man, I've never hurt anybody as far as I know. Not like physically, obviously. But at some point it's gonna happen where I get into a fight. Or somebody hits me or something. I don't know. It might not even be a fight. I don't know. It might just be an argument, which already kind of happens, where I just argue. Nobody throws punches, we just argue. But I have a lot of pent-up rage. Rage that I take out on inanimate objects, like a box that I beat up with a bat. This isn't even a real bat, but this thing is still heavy. I was beating a box with this multiple times and then throwing stuff at it, making the inside of it break. Got a lot of pent-up rage that I can't do anything with. You know? Because if I get into a fight, I'm obviously going to get in trouble. And they're obviously going to get in trouble because there's a fight going on. What do you think is going to happen? We walk off scot-free? No! That doesn't happen. Speaking of fights, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to stop right here. Moral of the story, I got problems, a lot of them, and it causes me to have mental breakdowns, like the one I had last night. Okay, goodbye. The end. Yeah,